गणेशाय नमः। ओं श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ओं शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So I was watching a story yesterday about Deva and Asuras. Now we shall chant the mantras, so repeat after me. Devasuraha vai yatra samyetire उभये प्राजापत्याः तद्ह देवाः उद्गीतम् आजह्रुः। अनेन एनान् अभिभविष्याम इति तेनः नासिक्यं प्राणम् उद्गीतम्। क्या हुआ? तेनः नासिक्यं प्राणम् उद्गीतम् उपासाञ्चक्रिरे तगम्ह असुराः पाप्मना विविदुः। तस्मात् तेन उभयं सुरभि च उभयं सुरभि च दुर्गन्धि च पाप्मना हेष विद्धः। अतः वाचम् उद्गीतम् उपासाञ्चक्रिरे। तगम्ह असुराः पाप्मना विविदुः। तस्मात् तया उभयं वदति सत्यं च अनृतं च पाप्मना हेष विद्धाः। अतः चक्षुः उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रिरे। ततः असुराः पाप्मना विविदुः। तेन उभयं पश्यति दर्शनीयं च अदर्शनीयं च पाप्मना हि एतद्विद्धम्। अतः श्रोत्रमुद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रिरे ततः असुराः पाप्मना विविदुः तस्मात् तेन उभयगं शृणोति श्रवणीयं च अश्रवणीयं च पाप्मना हे एतद् विद्धम् अतः मन उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रिरे ततः असुराः पाप्मना विविदुः तस्मात् तेन उभयगं संकल्प्यते संकल्पनीयं च असंकल्पनीयं च पाप्मना हि एतद्विद्धम् अतः यः एवायं मुख्यप्राणः तम् उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रिरे तगंह असुराः ऋत्वा विदध्वंसुः यथा अश्मानम् आखणं ऋत्वा विध्वगंसते विध्वगंसेत ऋत्वा विध्वगंसेत. This is the story. So Devasuraha vai yatra samyetire. So they fought. Samyetire, they fought. Devatas and Asuras. Where are they? Within us. Vrittiyaha. Deva Vritti, Asura Vritti. Okay. So Prajapatyaha. There are children of Prajapati only. The father is Jiva. Ashadavisa. Tadha Deva Udgita Majahu. So when the gods and demons both were the progeny of Prajapati, they fought against each other. Then gods thought how to survive, how to protect ourselves. So they took up the Udgita Upasanam. Tadha Devaha Udgitam Ajakruhu. They took up Udgitam. Udgita Upasana. What is that? Anena Enan Abhibhavishyama iti. So let us take Udgita Upasana, invoking the deity of each Indriya in Udgitam. By that, we can really conquer these Asuras. They thought that way. So they started Udgita Upasana. Tenaha nasikyam pranam udgitam upasan chakrire. So they meditated on the prana shakti, vital force in the nose. Prana is there in the nose. So they meditated on the vital prana, that is on prana, in the nose, nasikyam pranam udgitam, as udgita. They meditated. They meditated on prana in the nose as udgitam. And what happened? Tagamha, Asuraha, Papmana, Vividuhu, and demons came and attacked the particular nose organ, and the nose was contaminated. They could not protect the nose from the attack of the Asuras. Then what happened? Nose go. Then what happened? Papana Vividhu. It is afflicted by Papam. Which one? Nasika Indriya. The moment it is afflicted by Papam, Tena Ubhayam Surabhi Durgandimcha. Then afterwards, the nose started smelling both good smell and bad smell. Surabhicha Durgandincha Papanahi Esha Viddaha, because it has been afflicted by the Papam. Who made the Papam? That is, they attacked. Who? Asuras. So they invoked prana in the Udgita in the nose. They tried Upasana, but did not happen. Devatas came, when Asuras came, attacked the nose Indriya, and that is polluted. Ataha Vacham Udgitam Upasan Chakride. Thereafter they meditated on Vacham, on speech, Indriya, as Udgita. So Udgita is there in the speech with Omkara Japa. And demons came and attacked speech Indriya also. Then what happened? Tagam asuraha papana vividu tasmat taya. When the speech is affected by the attack of the asura, then afterwards what happened? They tam tasmat ubhayam vadati. Therefore, thereafterwards speech is speaking the both. What? Satyam cha, anrutam cha. Sometimes the mouth speaks truth, sometimes mouth speaks lies. Because afflicted by papam, attacked by asuras. Ataha chakshurudgita upasan chakride. Thereafter, Devatas meditated on the organ of vision, chakshuhu, as udgitam. And devils attacked that also. That is, Dushtabutti, demons came, attacked that. Tasmat de nubhayam pashyati. Then the organ of eye, papana vividuhu asuraha. So asuras came, afflicted that eye with vice, with papam. Thereafter, therefore, then ubhayam pashyati, darshaniyam cha, adarshaniyam cha. What is to be seen, what should be seen, what should not be seen, both are seen by the eyes. Because of demons attacked the eyes. Think. Ataha srotramudgitam upasan chakrire. There was srotram after years. Tatha asuraha papana vividuhu. They meditated on srotram as an organ of hearing as udgita, but devils came and afflicted that organ of hearing also. Then what happened? Therefore, Shravaniyam cha, Ashravaniyam cha, both what is to be heard, what is not to be heard, Ubhayam Srunoti. Then we listen good and bad. Then ear also got polluted. Ataha manavudghitam upasan chakrire. Then the Devata started, okay, we'll invoke, meditated on the mind as udgitam. With Omkara Udgita Upasana, meditated on mind. And devils came and afflicted the mind also. Tataha asuraha papana vividuhu tasmat ten ubhayagam sankalpayate. So therefore mind does things of both the things. What? Sankalpaniyam cha, asankalpaniyam cha. What is to be thought of, what should not be thought of, both are being thought by mind. Because devils attacked the mind and polluted the mind. See, there afterwards, sankapapanahi etat. Then therefore mind also is afflicted by the vice. So all sense organs and mind was attacked by asuras and everything became papa bhuyishtam. See. Then what happens? Ataha evayam mukhya pranaha tam udgitam upasan chakrire tagam asuraha rutva vidvamsuhu yatha asmanam akhanam rutva vidvagam seta. Then they meditated on mukhya pranam. Mukhya prana, you know, no? From mukhya prana only prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana division came. So when they meditated on mukhya pranam as udgitam, then demons approached that prana also to pollute the prana. But what happened? Tagam asura rutva vidvamsuhu, and asuras utterly got destroyed, completely destroyed. When they tried to attack prana, asuras got destroyed. See? Vidvamsuhu. How? Yatha ashmanam akhanam rutva vidvamsate. See? Akhanam mane akhana. Khana mane akhanam. That which doesn't break. Stone. And ashma is mud. So now, ashmanam akhanam rutva vidvamsate. You throw a lump of mud ball on a very hard, impenetrable stone. What will happen to stone? Nothing will happen. But what will happen to the mud ball? It becomes totally destroyed. Similarly, when demons came and attacked the prana was so strong like a stone, and all the asuras got destroyed. Therefore, prana is always pure. Prana is untouched by impurity. So, therefore, the story establishes what? That Prana Shakti is pure, uncontaminated, plus sustainer of all, Sarvam Bharatvam, Shuddham and Sarvam Bharatvam. I said in the beginning, 5 qualities, gunas of prana will be told. Is it not? First one is Shuddhatvam, second is Sarvam Bharatvam. It is the sustainer of everything, supporter of everything. Now, therefore, in this discussion, we know. So, therefore, no touch and taste are not mentioned. It is understood that they are included. All indriyas are included. Therefore, prana shakti is pure. There is no question of saintly prana, sinner prana, polluted prana. So, prana is pure everybody. In everywhere, prana is always uncontaminated. That's a pranayama is actually drinking prana, absorbing prana shakti. So, therefore, pranayama purifies. Because any evil thought, any devil cannot attack prana. Prana is so pure, these evil thoughts come, but nothing will happen. If pranayama, prana upasana is done. That is the beauty of prana shakti. So, therefore, Adi Shankaracharya spoke about this prana, that is from the point of the inner adhyatmaka vishaya only, subjective matter, both devatas and asuras. Okay? So, sattvic vrittis are good ones and rajasic tendencies are asuraha. So, this is how this story we have seen. Okay? Now, afterwards what happened? That is 7 slokas are over. Now, in 8th sloka we will see. In 8th sloka, so now the story is over with the 7th mantra. Okay? Next 3 mantras are prana stuti, prana upasanam, etc. is given. Plus 3 more qualities of prana are mentioned, not to be mentioned. They are also told in the end. There are total 14 mantras are there in the 2nd section of the 1st chapter. So, 1st chapter, 2nd section, 14 slokas, out of which we saw 7. Now, upasana phalam is given in the 8th mantra. And next 9th mantra, prana glory is given. So, in 8th mantra, prana upasana phalam is upasana phalam, and 9th mantra is glory of prana is given. Evam yatha ashmanam akanam rutva vidvagam sata evam hi eva sa vidvam sate ya evam vidhi papam kamayate yascha enam abhidasati sa eshaha ashmakanaha evam yata ashmanam akanam rutva vidvam sata evam hi eva sa vidvam sate ya evam vidhi papam kamayate yascha enam abhidasati sa eshaha ashmakanaha. This is the 8th mantra. Now, what is that? Evam yatha ashmanam akhanam rutva vidvamsate. Just as the lump of earth, mass of the mitti, right, mud ball, is destroyed when it is thrown on a stone, akhanam. Similarly, what is that? Similarly, whoever is the one who entertains evil thoughts against a person who is doing this prana, who has got this kind of knowledge. Somebody is there, pure man, he is having a lot of knowledge, and somebody is entertaining an evil thought against him. See? So, suppose somebody is entertaining evil thought on somebody who is very pure, upasana is doing, one who has got this kind of knowledge, or when someone tries to injure the other person who is of this knowledge, who is having prana, upasana, knowledge is doing prana shaktika, they themselves become destroyed. If you entertain a negative thought towards somebody who is pure, he will not happen, nothing will happen to him. Because he is having prana with him, pure prana, pure mind. So you throw whatever thoughts, all those things get destroyed. Ultimately, you will be destroyed. That is the reason why Mahatmaon ke prati or somebody great Mahat people towards, we should not talk ill about them. Nothing will happen. So all evil tendencies are. So this prana, if this one who is doing this pranopasana, prana is invoked in where? Udgita. So the one who invokes prana shakti in Udgita, in Omkara. So having invoked prana shakti in Omkara, one who does upasana, he is become so poor, that person, though so pure, that person will not be attacked by any evil. Even if any evil tries to attack him, the evil gets destroyed. That's the purity of this person. So role is that upasana is, as the upasana is, the phalam is. Jaisi upasana, vaisi phal. So you are doing this kind of upasana, so you will also get. So no enemy can attack the upasaka. Nobody can harm upasaka. He don't do anything. He need not raise his little finger also in defense. But nobody can strike that upasaka. Okay? So, somebody says, we are very good, but I am already influenced by so many negative thoughts. What to do? Here is the answer. Invoke prana shakti in Udgita and do Udgita upasana. Nobody, even in the house also, outside also, no evil thought can affect you. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can harm you. Those who try to do that, they get destroyed. If you are so pure. This upasana is very beautiful. So, one can exercise this very nice upasana for the benefit of one's own protection. And if you teach these children also, everybody, this Udgita upasana with prana, invoking prana in it, they will also be protected from evil tendencies. That's the beauty. Okay? 9th mantra. Naiva etena surabhi na durgandhi vijanati apahata papma hesha tena yadashnati yat pibati tena itaran pranan avati evam eva antataha avitva utkramati vedadati eva antataha iti. Now, naiva etena surabhihi na durgandhi vijaneti apahata papma hesha tena yadashnati yat pibati tena itaran pranan avati evam eva antataha avitva utkramati vedadati eva antataha iti. Now, therefore, it is said now. Now he said, we will see first prana's glory in this. Glory. We are seeing glory. What are the two glories of prana shakti? Suddhatvam and Sarvam Bharatvam. Therefore, this prana has no contact with papam at all because it is pure. Right? Now, prana is, because it is very pure, it is all powerful. Where there is purity, there alone is power, power. Something pure, it is powerful. So, because it is pure and powerful, it is sustaining all the indriyas. All organs are protected, right? Supported by prana. Antakarana also supported by prana. And karmendras also supported by prana. So now, how does this prana protects? It neither, what do you call, through it, neither fragrance nor bad smell is smelled. See? Na eva etena surabhi na durgandhi vijanati. This prana is so pure that through prana, it neither you can get fragrance nor bad smell. It is beyond that. Okay? Through it, neither fragrance nor bad smell is smelled because it is not afflicted by sin. It is untouched. It is always pure. Pure and powerful. Prana Shakti. Okay? Now, example is given. What is that now? Because Upanishad says, how does it sustain? Prana sustain? Example is given. Because through prana alone, a person eats and drinks. Tena, see, ashnati yat pibati. Eating and drinking is possible only through prana. If you know this art of actually prana is required for eating food, prana is required for drinking, prana support is required. Without prana, food also cannot go inside. Chewing is a function of prana shakti. Masticating, digesting, swallowing, drinking. Therefore, when the food is eaten, actually food is jhan se suniye. Food has some prana. Some prana shakti is hidden in food. Right? Prana is pure. But sattvika ahara, guna affecting is there. Prana only is pure. Prana is required even to take food. So in prana, in food, there is a prana shakti. But the prana has so many functions and so many divisions. Varieties of pranas are there. Mukhya prana is one. Upapranas are 5. Still so many pranas are there mentioned in Shastras. Each prana is responsible for each function. Like for yawning also there is one prana is responsible. Like that. So it has so many divisions. Now in a food, when we take food, food is also filled with the prana shakti. But each food carries varieties of prana shakti. Now, while we are eating food, at each level of eating food, some prana is absorbed. For example, a type of prana in food, suppose you are taking roti. Example I am giving you. There is some prana shakti in the roti or in the annam, whatever food you eat. Some prana is absorbed through fingers. That is why one should not eat with a spoon. If you really were sincere, throw away spoon eating from today. It is not fashion. It is disease to eat with spoon. ये Western culture कुछ भी नहीं है उसमें. So when you eat food with fingers, there is some type of prana which is absorbed only through fingers. If you eat with spoon, that quality of prana which is absorbed through finger is not going into you. आप सुधरेंगे? सुधरना चाहते हैं क्या आज से? तो आज से कसम खाओ कि चम्मच से नहीं खाना है. Have you ever seen me eating with spoon? तो आप समझते हैं कि अनपढ़ आदमी है, ट्राइबल स्वामी. He doesn't know etiquette. वो सारे 5 उंगलियां प्लेट में डाल के अच्छा चाट के खाता है स्वामी जी, जो कुछ भी खाता है, दलिया हो जो भी हो। ये तो पागल है, इट डजंट नो हाउ टू ईट। एंड यू पीपल आर लेजी टू वॉश योर हैंड, देयरफॉर यू हैव ऑल एक्सक्यूजेस टू ईट स्पून। अब मैं दुनिया को क्या कहूं, बेवकूफ कहूं कि नहीं? सुधरना चाहते हैं कि नहीं? सुधरना चाहते हैं तो फिर आज से बंद स्पून। Then some food, some prana is absorbed through mouth, in the mouth. Mukhya prana is seated in mouth only, in the palate, through tongue, a different portion. Everything is takes absorbs prana by touch also. Some quality of prana goes through while chewing, touch with the tongue and palate. I am not joking, huh? Therefore, food must be chewed well and let it remain in mouth for few seconds. Medical reason, masticating is different. But if you eat actually chewing well, masticate well, and let it remain food and touch the food through mouth, entire palates and tongue, etc. Not only you enjoy the taste, but the prana shakti through that taste, some kind of prana which is absorbed, which can be absorbed only through tongue and palate, that is also absorbed. If you eat quickly and swallow, that portion of prana also you are not absorbing it. One more thing. When you look at food with sadbhav, as a Brahmaswarupam Annam, Anna Rupena, here in the form of food, Sakshat Paramatma only is sitting. In the eyes, drushti, if you have very good pleasant drushti towards food, with prema bhav, with bhakti bhav, and through looking, some prana is absorbed from the food. When you are smelling also, if you smell, this is a divine fragrance. Fragrance is only because of the food, and is the food I am eating. Fragrance is food, and food is divine. The moment drushti is there, so that experience of absorption of food, both through eyes and the nose also, something goes into you. That's why children are to be taught, elders too should learn. Food is going inside. Here same thing sloka, I am not adding something. Here, what is it? Yat yasnati, yat pibati, whatever a person eats or drinks through that vital force, prana shakti, apahata papma, he meant, and yasnati, tena itaran pranan avati. Through that, itara pranan, you are protecting the other vital forces with that. Mukhya prana is at the mouth only, seated in mouth. Mukham. So it's a gateway. So you are actually, everything is dipped, every food, whatever you drink, it dipped in Mukhya pranam and then absorbed, and that Mukhya prana, through prana you absorb vital force, then that you nourish other vital organs, vital forces also. Other pranas are there, upapranas are there, pancha pranas are there, upapranas are there, small prana diversifications functions are there. Everything is nourished. See? So the food must go down through the throat because of prana, apana. Food digested because of vyana, samana. All those things, circulation because of vyana, digestion because of samana. Think. And so many functions also are because of prana only. So yat pivati yadashnati yat pivati tena itaran pranan avati. Avati means protects. Other pranas are protected, nourished, etc. Evamu eva antataha avitva utkramati. And at the end, antataha avitchi evam eva etam, not getting this prana shakti in the end, a person leaves the body because the prana is not available for him. Aakhar mein do not, but these pancha pranas don't function, so ultimately no use. So everything is because of prana shakti, and experience, death experience, Upanishad speaks about it. So whatever he wants to use, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, one thing you cannot avoid, that is breathing. So prana goes in through nostril. Breathing you cannot avoid. Constant prana is to be pumped inside. And final death happens. What is that? Here he says, at the end, not getting this very one, the very prana, because of lack of prana, he leaves the body also. And he struggles for to absorb prana at the time of death. That's why he opens his mouth. Vyadadati. He tries to get prana through nose and mouth. And he opens the mouth thinking that I can take prana through mouth. See? Here very clearly said, Vyadaya means with open mouth. Avitva, without getting prana. Without getting prana, he will leave the body, opening his mouth, struggling for prana shakti. I want nothing, little prana to survive. But that prana also is not given. Finally, he doesn't get prana, he fails to get prana, and he will leave the body. So prana shakti is through prana only, food is absorbed with the help of prana only, and that absorbed food again nourishes other pranas again, and without getting prana only, ultimately opening his mouth and trying to take some kind of prana, a person dies. Thus Upanishad speaks about the glory. So therefore prana is sarvam bharaha, meaning it is all sustainer. Sarvam bharatvam, shuddhatvam, and also powerful. ठीक है? Therefore sarvam bharatva shuddhatva guna visishta prana drushtya udgita upasanam samaptam. Now afterwards, 3 more gunas of pranas are going to be mentioned in this chapter only, in the second section of first chapter. There are 10th to 14th mantras. We will chant Tagamha Angiraha Udgita Upasan Chakra Etamu Eva Angirasam Manyante Anganam Yadrasaha Tena Tagamha Brahaspatihi Udgita Upasan Chakra Etamu Eva Brahaspatim Manyante Vagdhi Brahati Tasya Esha Patihi Tena Tagam Ayasya Udgita Upasan Chakra Etamu eva ayasyam manyante asyat adayate yadayate okay, asyat yadayate. Now next one, tena tagamha bako dalbhyo vidanchakara saha naimishiyanam udgata babhuva saha smaibyah kamana gayate agata havai kamanam bhavati य एतदेवं विद्वान् अक्षरम् उद्गीतमुपास्ते इति अध्यात्मम्. Thus, in this sloka we saw now. What is that now? In 10 to 14 mantras, these 5 slokas, another upasana is told. Upasana. So, here prana drushtya udgita upasana. This is also udgita upasana only. Prana drushtya udgita upasana only. But prana is having different qualities, gunas also. First one is a shuddhatvam and sarvabharatvam. Now, three more gunas are there. One is angirasa, bruhaspati, ayasya. These are the 3 gunas of prana. In the slokas, angirasa, bruhaspati and ayasya. So, angirasa, bruhaspati, ayasya, gunatraya visishta prana drushtya udgita upasanam is the topic. From this point, 3 points, prana drushtya udgita upasanam. Why prana has got these kind of funny names? Angira, bruhaspati, ayasya. It's a glory. Upanishad is giving the reason. Says, prana as the glory of Angirasa with 2 reasons. Why it is called Angirasa? 2 reasons. Why it is called Brahaspati? 2 reasons. Why it is called Ayasya? 2 reasons. Okay, with this chapter concludes. The first one reason is Angirasa. One reason. First reason for Angirasa. Prana is called Angirasa. First reason is it is practiced by Angirasa Rushi. Because he had practiced this prana upasana, this kind of udgita upasana, invoking prana in Udgita upasana, this is glorified after his name, therefore it is called Angirasa. Second meaning Upanishad gives Anganam Rasaha. Meaning what? This is the very essence of every limb, every organ. What is the essence of every organ? Prana Shakti. Every organ, even if it is a little portion of physical body you take, any portion you take, if that portion is not nourished by prana, that anga, that part, that portion will not function, it becomes dead. It needs to be amputated. Gangrene. So prana sanchara, prana flow in the body should be continuous and healthy. Healthy flow, meaning all parts it should supply. And therefore this is called Angirasa. So Jnanendriyas can function only prana, Antakarna Karmendriyas. So Sarvesham Anganam Rasaha, Sarabhutaha, Pranaha. So therefore it is called Angirasa Prana. Okay. So Angirasa Muni meditated, and one reason, otherwise it is called Anganam Rasaha, essence of every limb, therefore it is called, prana is called Angira, another guna of prana. Next one, when prana goes off, leave the body, 10th Brahaspati, one reason is, prana is called Brahaspati because it was meditated by Brahaspati, and second reason is, Brahati means walk. Brahaspati means Vakpatihi, Vachaspatihi. Vachaspati, Brahaspati. Therefore, it is the prana is the lord of speech. Without prana, you can't speak. We are very extremely weak, no word can come. You can't move anything, you can't talk. Therefore, it is called Brahaspati. Okay? And the third guna of prana is Ayasya. Because of 2 reasons. One is Ayasya, Ayasa Rushi is there, Ayasya. So he practiced Ayasya Rushi practice, and second reason is Asyat Ayate iti Ayasya. Meaning when prana goes out, it goes through the nose and the mouth, is it not? At the end, nose or mouth. Therefore, the prana goes out through mouth and nostril. When it comes back, you are alive. Goes out, coming back, going out through nose and coming into the nose, you are alive. Once it goes out. But this function is only through this nose, so ayasya, आते हैं चले जाते हैं, therefore it is called, third glory is ayasya guna visishtah. Thus prana shakti has three glories. Okay, now Upanishad speaks about the phalam. Phalam is kama praptihi, aakhar mein all the desires will be fulfilled. Example is Baka Rishi and Dalbhya are not two rishis, there is one rishi only. Baka Rishi, Baka Dalbhya is not two rishis, one rishi. So Baka Rishi fulfilled all his desires by this upasana. Baka Rishi, Baka Muni. Mahabharata mein bhi aata hai Baka. So second type of upasanam is over with this, because phalam is it fulfills all the desires, right? Therefore, with this thought, the Upanishad is second section of first chapter is completed. So this upasana is only for Adhyatmika upasana, because we invoked prana alone in Udgita, and prana comes under Adhyatmam, inside. Therefore, it is a subjective upasana only. It is not outside. Prana is inside. So, whatever we talk about, it is all prana shakti. So, this topic, with this over, and with this Adhyatmic topic, Devatas and Asuras should not be taken as external forces. They are internal forces only. So, ultimately, through prana upasana, invoking prana in Udgita, one can control all the evil tendencies, negative tendencies in the mind and indriyas. All can be purified, and you can lift yourself, therefore, lift yourself up on the path. Therefore, with this second section of the first chapter is concluded. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.